Hey everybody, it's Easy. Welcome back. This is a continuation of last video. If you're wondering why we started off in the middle of a raid, it's actually, go back and watch the first video. This is a two-part video of the Clashmas special. Right now we're showing all the different raids that we came up across yesterday. And wow, this is how I get. So basically, I asked all the guys in the clan to post up some big raids that they saw. Within about 10 minutes, we had 10 or 15 raids up that were between 600,000 and 700,000 elixir, 600,000 to 700,000 gold. I even got a couple myself. And towards the end of this half of the video, you'll see some of the Town Hall 11 raids and exactly what's going on with the Inferno Towers. This has been a big concern, especially of the top level players. Whether or not the Inferno Towers are going to hold up after the last nerf in the winter 2017 update. It is good to know that the last war that we played was after the update, and we didn't see a huge difference in the war. Matter of fact, the same people managed to live. And ironically, we have two players in our clan that do not have Inferno Towers and do not have the Eagle Artillery. And even though they are max Town Hall 11, and they don't get 3-starred very often. And the 5 or 6 players above them that do have the elite defenses will get 3-starred, but they can't 3-star the players that have the max walls with the base design that they have. So don't think it's just that the only way that you're going to survive is if you max out your Eagle Artillery and max out the Inferno Towers. That's not the way it works. Matter of fact, ironically enough, you can survive these attacks just with max walls. And check this out. It looks like some blue flames around some of these. Looks like Flex Luger used his spell from Clan Games. Manages to run across a massive base, 600,000 gold, 600 something thousand elixir, and not very highly upgraded walls. Now Flex is much less careful with the Eagle Artillery. He'll put all the troops in and then he'll just pound away at the defenses, whereas I will try to use an Archer Queen walk or try to delicately make my way towards the Eagle Artillery and take it out so I don't have to deal with the Eagle raining down on top of me. Flex doesn't worry about that because he doesn't have to. He's still, his 3-star percentage is so high, whether it be farming, whether it be war. And here's another example. And he's been using, we showed another one of his attacks in the first half of the video. He's been using the Bowler Valkyrie, which is a very popular attack, especially in the top end of the players. If you watch the top 100 players, at least last time I checked, most of them are using this Bowler Valk. Very effective, especially on the ring bases or island bases. You use your healers with the Archer Queen and the Warden, and you'll break into the base with them. You probably have to use a rage spell to keep them alive to break through the first wall and get through those first layer of defenses, because they'll group up all those defenses on the outer wall trying to take out the Archer Queen, because this Archer Queen walk is so popular. And once you get inside the base, you'll add the bowlers to it, and so then you have the Archer Queen, the Warden, and the bowlers plowing through. And then once you clear out a good portion of the base, you bring the Valkyries down the same channel that you just came in with the bowlers and with the heroes, and put a jump spell to the core, and they will basically run straight to the core. And if you have 10 or 12 Valkyries and one rage spell, any core is going down in about 11 seconds or less. That's the countdown to extinction. Valkyries are really good at smashing through the core really fast. The only way you can stop them, and this does work, believe me it does, is if you put every giant bomb you have in the core and they run over them all so fast. Sometimes that's the one downfall for the Valkyrie, is that they can actually outrun the effectiveness of a heal spell or even the healers. Although if you get 4 or 5 healers behind a group of Valkyries and you put a rage spell on the healers, they will outlive any defense or any trap that they run across, including running over all 5 giant bombs, including the Eagle Artillery, because we've seen them do it. So very effective way to tank is not to use tanks, but to use the healers behind your troops and use the rage spell on the healers. Not a big surprise, not a big secret, but no, noteworthy nonetheless. So this is Little Lugo. This is Flex's little account. He is now Town Hall 8. He pretty much maxed Town Hall 8, and just another huge. I mean, look at this. Town Hall 8, 800,000 elixir. How often do you see that? Well, not very often, but you do see it at the Clashmas time, because now all these, all the collectors interrupted his attack with my mischief and my typing. And I forgot I was recording for 1 second. Then I stopped and paused it instead of ×2, because that's what kind of expert editor I am. I amaze myself sometimes. Yeah, so anyway, getting back to this, you'll see this time of year. As soon as they start the winter boost, which is the 1 gem for the collectors, people spend the whatever it is. I think it's 14 gems for the golden elixir, another 3 for the dark elixir in Town Hall 10 and 11. Town Hall 9, you get 1 less of everything, and you run into bases like this one. This one that I ran into 800,000 gold, 733,000 elixir, 6,000 dark elixir. Maybe this is commonplace up in Titan League for most people, but this is the first time I've really seen these type of numbers here. And now something else though, another thing I wanted to mention. If you notice what I'm attacking a Champ 2 base, and they don't show the trophies, but this is for 4 or 5 trophies. Now me, I've been playing a long time, but I have never gone past Champ intentionally. I wasn't ready, but now being at Town Hall 11, my heroes aren't quite there, but I think I have level 35 King, 37 Queen, so I'm pretty good where I'm at, building up towards maxed. Anyway, in Titan League now, I didn't realize who I had to attack every single attack. Now, if I didn't next literally 50 times sometimes, I would get put up against all Champ 2 players, which means that they offer 4 to 6, 7 sometimes cups for that. So that means that you have to be pretty much perfect. You have to at least 2-star every time to get at least half of 4. If not, you're going to get stuck with a 1 trophy score. And you can't lose, because if you lose 1 time to a Champ 2 in Titan 2 where I am, that's like negative 28. So a huge loss potentially, but huge gains as far as the loot. I mean, the loot is incredible, but the trophies not so much. I was really it's kind of disturbing when the matchups that I'm seeing lately, and I'm not sure exactly why that Champ 2 is such a popular trophy level for me to get faced with. I'm thinking that there must be a lot of Champ 2 players, because I'm sure that I would be faced with all Titan 2s if there were enough of them, but because there's not, first you're clouding for sometimes 5 or 6 minutes, which I know is not terribly bad, but me not used to it because I have never had to actually deal with clouds before. I know that in the Legend League it's much worse, just because the number of players go down so dramatically, and then a lot of players up there also use the shield, and a lot of them, just because of the rules of the game, you get a shield once someone takes your base. So there's a lot of shielded players, so they have to kind of fluctuate on who you can attack. So there's my first attack, and I believe I have a second one coming up. Not quite as good, but still pretty popular base design. And again, not a totally maxed out Town Hall 11. You see they're missing a few defenses to be maxed. The walls aren't quite maxed. You have Town Hall 10 and some max 9 walls. But look how easy it was to get through this base. I believe those are level 4 Inferno Towers. I don't know if they're 4 or 5 because I can't tell, even though I'm watching on a big screen TV and I still can't see, even with my glass on. I know that they're at least level 4, but they're set on multi, so that's why this is such a juicy base. First of all, it's not quite a ring base. I have someone in the clan. Creeper has this exact base, so we get to play against this base a lot. And so this brings me to a good point of why you don't make internet bases for your home base or for your war base, because you end up with players like me that have attacked this base literally 50 times. Now, I mentioned earlier the difference between Flex and I, and look at this, Hog Riders coming out of the clan castle in Town Hall 11. Would have never seen that or even attempted that before. The Hog Riders get underneath the beams of the Inferno Tower in a precision freeze spell placed right next to the Inferno Tower. And if you look there, there's absolutely nothing there within a friggin' mile. But I still, that's where it went. And ended up putting the heal spell, which that Inferno Tower goes down. The second Inferno Tower catches all of the miners, but because the healers were behind the miners, none of them died. So you had on both sides the Inferno Towers. I mean, they caught 10 troops right off the bat. Not one of them died. One side had the heal spell, had that close call and the freeze spell, and on the other side they had the healers. So that's just not enough help. You have to switch these Inferno Towers to single target mode, because at least in single target mode you can take down 5 or 6 troops or 10 troops or something like that. That way you can, try to stop the bleeding on some of these attacks. Also, the positioning of the Inferno Towers. Yes, they were in the center of this base and they were pretty deep, but there had to have been more big objects around them. Bring the storages in, bring the heroes in, bring the skeleton traps in, bring anything you can around the Inferno Towers to try to slow these troops down. Because when you're set on single target mode, you can easily become overwhelmed by a large group of troops. So the best thing to do is try to put things around you that they will slow them down. And you can't just put storages around the Inferno Towers, because you'll have the defense only troops like the balloons, like the Hog Riders, that will just bypass those. And so you need things like the skeletons, which the skeletons do beat up the Hog Riders, but now you don't have the skeletons and the Infernos and all these things combining on top of each other and not being able to heal from them. The heals are just working really well. So that's it, part 2 of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sure you'll see the same loot that we have, but we will be playing the first 2 million raid, 1 million elixir, 1 million gold. Got a little new logo. We're switching things up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, sub to the channel if you haven't ever subbed before. Trying to build up our subs. We're going to try to double up from last year. It's going to be a hard goal, but we're trying to do it. So till next time, it's been easy. Take care, everybody.